It's 8:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. Police say it now appears a house fire at Georgetown last night was sparked by two children aged 3 and 5 playing with a cigarette lighter. Fire crews were called to the brick and iron home in Moat Street just before 7:30 to find a bedroom well alight. A mother and her 6 children managed to escape without injury. It's taken firefighters from 4 stations an hour to extinguish the blaze, which left 2 rooms gutted and the rest of the house damaged by smoke and water. Police say the damage bill will be at least $30,000. There are growing fears for a 14-year-old Waratah girl who's been missing for a week. Tara Hipwell was last seen leaving her high school at Mayfield just before 3:30 on last Thursday afternoon, and there's been no trace of her since. Siobhan McMahon from Police Headquarters says officers are appealing for help to find her.
Tara is described as being 178 centimetres tall with a medium build, light brown hair, blue eyes, and she has braces. Investigators are appealing for public assistance to locate the whereabouts of Tara and urge anyone with information to contact Waratah Police Station or Newcastle Police Station.
There are calls for Port Stephens oyster growers and other primary producers to receive more financial support as they battle to recover from last month's storms and floods. Port Stephens MP Kate Washington says affected primary producers should be eligible for Category C disaster relief funding, which will provide a $15,000 cash injection. Regional Recovery Coordinator Brigadier Darren Newman says he believes the level of state and federal assistance is adequate, but he'll continue to assess the need for more help.
At this stage, I think everything that can be done is being done, and we're in the process at the moment of undertaking assessments to see what further support is required, and as we finalise all of that, we'll be passing recommendations up to government.
Meanwhile, New South Wales Primary Industries Minister Niall Blair says some primary producers in the Hunter will take many months to get back on their feet.
It depends on the industry, but realistically, we're not talking days, weeks, we're talking years in some cases. Some of our producers will be without income for an extended period of time. I mean, we're coming into winter, so we need to be able to have pastures to come back, and purchasing new stock and things like that's also an issue.
A large number of homes in the Hunter still don't have phone and internet connections a month since the wild storms. Around 12,000 customers here and on the Central Coast are affected, and it's likely to be another 2 weeks before services are back to normal. Telstra says the damage to the network was worse than Cyclone Yazi and the Ash Wednesday bushfires. Lead contamination issues in suburbs around the old Pasminco smelter in Lake Macquarie have led to children having access to voluntary testing of blood lead levels. The move by Hunter New England Health comes after the Australian threshold for blood lead was decreased to 5 micrograms per decilitre. Despite contamination fears, Lake Macquarie MP Greg Piper is assuring future residents of the Pasminco site they have nothing to worry about.
The former smelter site itself was subject to a demolition, therefore wasn't complicated with buildings that had to be retained or worked around. So the contaminated material was removed. So where there are completely new development proposed or occurring, such as Bunnings and new residential, there really is no problem.
Now with sport, Iona McNabb.
The leaders of the Northern New South Wales football are ready to step in and help the federal body rebuild the Jets after Nathan Tinkler placed the team into voluntary administration. Chief David Iland hopes the community will now have the chance to play a bigger role in the A-League, offering greater engagement for supporters. Tinkler has been stripped of his A-League licence after failing to pay debts worth $2.7 million to staff, players and facilities. Ex-captain for the Knights Danny Baderis is set to make a return to Newcastle in a new coaching role. The Hall of Famer is in his first year as an NRL assistant, given control of the New South Wales under-16s. The so-called Baby Blues will take on the Queensland under-16 team at the opening of the Origin season at ANZ Stadium. And South Cardiff have defeated Charlestown in the Northern New South Wales National Premier League round last night. The 3-1 victory allows South Cardiff to jump up to 8th place on the leaderboard. That's sport. I'm Iona McNabb.
2NURFM News Time 26 to 9.